What's up, you guys? It's your girl Shantae Renee, and I'm back with another video. And today, you guys, you can tell by the title below that we're gonna be talking about how to become an RBT and what's expected of an RBT. So, excuse my nails, y'all. I just cut them down because I'm gonna take them off and I'm gonna get them redone. So, don't judge, okay? I'll do that. But yes, let's get into the video now. So, I guess I'll just explain like what I do. Yes, I am a registered behavior technician. That's what RBT stands for. I know a lot of you guys may have questions about RBT and what we do, so I'm just here to talk to you guys about that. So, how to become an RBT. So when I got hired at the company I worked for, I had training, of course, orientation, but a lot of my training consisted of going over PowerPoints and definitions and role playing and stuff like that, of what to do in a session. But a lot of it was like vocabulary based, so I had to learn a lot of definition, and I had to learn how to apply those definitions and those terms into real life. So in order for a person to become an RBT, they have to take this exam. It's called the Rbt Exam. You have to score, I don't even know what you have to score in order to pass. All I know is you gotta pass it. Because I don't remember if I had to score a certain score or not. I don't even know what I made on the test, actually, but you have to pass the Rbt exam. It's multiple choice questions. I looked up some YouTube videos. I forgot this guy's name, but he helped me a lot. I watched a lot of his videos. He went over the actual exam and what was going to be on the exam, what kind of questions were going to be asked. So he just pretty much went over that information and went over the content of certain things that will be on the exam, and that helped me out a whole lot. So I like really needed those videos because it really helped me. I was very nervous when I went in to take the exam, and scared to even see my results because I didn't know how I did on it. But I ended up passing on the first try, so yay! I was very excited because the company I work for, although I had training and whatever, I wasn't allowed to sit with a client by myself until I passed the exam. And sadly, the same week I started working for the company, literally the week after that, they wanted me to take the test, which I feel like is not enough time to really try to study and learn how to do something. I just feel like it was too fast, honestly. But because I was like studying every day, trying to like hurry up and get all the information in that I could, because I knew I had the test coming up and I had to take it, I ended up passing. The exam is not hard, but it's not easy either. It doesn't make any sense. And excuse me, you guys, my dog is barking in the back. Like, it's gonna ask you some real world questions. Like, you have to really know the definition in order to put it in a real life situation. So they're gonna ask questions like that on the exam. I think it was a total of 85 questions, if I can remember. I think it was 85 questions. All of them were multiple choice. I don't remember having to type anything out or sentences or anything like that. They did have I think it was 10 questions they throw in there. So keep that in mind. If you are trying to become an RBT, and then you're studying to take the exam, remember that the exam I think it's 10 questions that are just random questions that are not counted. So that really will help out a lot with your score. When I went in to take the exam, I went to a testing center. I know some people feel more comfortable taking it in the comfort of their home. I could have taken it at home, but I was just like, why not just go to a testing center? So I just went to the testing center. They wouldn't allow you to have phones, so they made me put my phone in my wallet inside of a locker. And I had to show my ID to identify who I was. They provided me with hand sanitizer, scratch paper, a pencil. That was the only thing I could bring in the testing area. I was inside of a little cubicle, and it was very quiet in there. They had people watching. If I were to get up and leave the testing area, I had to notify somebody. But it did cut into my testing time. The test was timed. I think I got 2 hours. Either it's between an hour or 2 hours. I can't remember exactly, but either it's an hour or 2 hours. But I was timed on the exam. So keep that in mind as well. It is a timed exam. And again, it wasn't really hard, but it wasn't easy either. They would ask questions that you have to think really? I don't know. You really have to think about it. You can't just rush through or anything like that and think you're just gonna pass, because that's not how it works. But other than that, the exam was straight. It was okay. I'm just thankful that I passed. When I got my results, y'all, they printed the results, and the lady gave me a piece of paper. I didn't even open it inside of the center. I couldn't. I was so nervous and so scared. I didn't know what to think. But as soon as I got in the car, I opened up the paper, and it was like, congratulations. I was like, oh my God, woo, I passed. So I was so excited. Immediately after notifying my manager that I had passed my exam, they put me out on the floor and started working with clients immediately. I hope that your company doesn't do that, because it's not really how it should be done. But that's how the company I work for, that's what they did for me. So, but so that's that on the testing part. Moving on to my job and what I do. So some of you may know, some of you may not know, but a RBT, registered behavior technician, we work with autistic children. So children who have autism or other underlying conditions or diagnoses. A typical day or a typical session at work for me, for the company that I work for, I'm not sure how other companies do, but for the company that I work for, I have 2 sessions a day, and both sessions are 4 hours. So in total, that equals up to be 8 hours a day. So I work an 8-hour shift from 8:30 to 5:30. I have an hour lunch break in between, but I don't really get an hour lunch break. It's way less than that. Sometimes I get 30 minutes. Sometimes I get 25 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. It just all depends on how quickly I can debrief with the parent and do my note and be done. But supposed to be an hour, but I don't get a full hour lunch break. But so in my session, I work with 1 child per session. I know some people may work with 2 kids. They may do group therapy or whatever. But my job, the company I work for, we do have group therapy, but I've only seen it once. So it's not something that's very common. I think it really just depends on the insurance that the child is under or using. But I've only seen that one time, so I've never done group therapy. But I have 1 client per session, and we work for 4 hours. So within a session, we're working on different targets. So each child has a folder, and it contains all of their information in it, all of their goals, what we're going to be working on, all the targets, things like that. Each folder has a comment section where I can write notes and comments of things that goes on in our session, things that I request, things that I feel like I may need my manager or the clinical director to come in and watch and sit in on my session and watch what goes on. That's what the comment section is for. I do have supervision hours. Every RBT has supervision hours. In order to maintain RBT certification, you have to have supervision hours. It's very, 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 very important. So maybe I want to say I have supervision once to twice a week. It just all depends how much time my clinical director have, but I get between once or twice a week supervision hours, and that's within a month's period. So I get a certain amount of hours every month. There is a percentage, I think it's 10%, or I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't remember what the percentage is, but I do know you have to have a certain amount of supervision hours to obtain your RBT certification, and you have to renew it every year. So I recently got my RBT certification in March of this year, and this year is 2021. So I got my RBT certification in March, and next year in March I'm going to have to renew it. And if I don't renew it, then I won't be able to work, unfortunately. Also, as far as my clients, so I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clients that I see. I see 5 different clients every week. Now, I don't see them every day, but I see them maybe twice, between 1 and 3 times a week. I have a morning session and an evening session or afternoon session. So the morning session is from 8:30 to 12:30, and then I take a break, and then from 1:30 to 5, then I'm off. The reason why I say I get off at 5:30 is because I literally get off at 5:30. Even though I'm supposed to get off at 5, I don't get off until 5:30 because I have to do my note after each session, and then I have to do a chore. Every clinician in the clinic, we are assigned a chore to do after our session, and so I go ahead and after I debrief with the parents, I go and do my note, and then I do my chore. And your chore could be anything between cleaning off tables, taking out the trash, cleaning the bathrooms, cleaning the DTI rooms, vacuuming the floors, cleaning the play area. Is whatever that your clinical director assign you. I'm not really sure if every clinic does that, but I know at the company that I work for and the clinic that I work in, we all have chores. So we all pitch in to help keep the clinic clean. And then every Friday, they have somebody come in and clean, so we don't have to clean on Fridays. I do like my job. It's very rewarding. It is something that I never thought I would be interested in, simply because it's different. It's not an easy job at all. There are times where it can be challenging because every client is different. Every client has different things that they're struggling with. So whether it's behavior or whatever, and pretty much I work with kids who have behavioral problems. So even though they are diagnosed with autism, where I'm mainly focused on the behavior part, because they all have that in common. But they all have autism in common, but they all have different behavioral issues. So some are very severe, and then some of them are very mild. So it just depends on the individual child. But again, like I said, the job is very rewarding because you do get to teach these kids and watch them transform. You watch them grow and just become, great. And it means a lot when, you have provided like some help within that. Like you help them get to that point in their life to grow and to be great and to excel. So it is very, very rewarding. But I do work with kids who have behavioral problems. And unfortunately, with children who are diagnosed with autism, sometimes they really don't know like how to control their behavior when certain situations arise. It's just, you try to teach them how to react or how to do certain things, but it's really hard because what we do in the clinic, the parents aren't doing at home. So that's what makes the job a little challenging, because if your client is only getting experience and practice with a certain way, or they should act in the clinic, and they're not doing it at home, but they're not getting that same type of practice and one-on-one time at home, then it's like their behavior is not really going to change any. If that make any sense. So it really does start at home. Like, I love parents who are very involved with their child, who ask questions, who want to learn about how they can work on their child's behavior at home, because it starts at home. We have so many clients in our clinic that have very, very bad behavior problems at home. Like, it is ridiculous how bad their behavior is at home. But when they come to the clinic, they show a whole different side. I guess because it's like, oh, we're at the clinic, so I know I can't do this, I can't do that. Let me act this way while I'm at the clinic. So it seems like there's nothing wrong. But at home, it's a whole different story. We have so many clients that do that. And the parents are very concerned and they're worried. And it's just like, it takes time. It's not something that's gonna happen overnight. Correcting a behavior is repetitive activity. You have to do repetitive things all the time to get them to learn and understand. So that's the part that's kind of challenging, because a lot of parents, they reinforce a lot of things that I wouldn't reinforce at work. So it makes it very challenging for the therapist to do their job effectively and to see results and, progression within a timely manner if the parents are not doing the same thing at home. So if you are a parent and you do have a child who is diagnosed with autism and they do go to an ABA clinic for therapy, I highly suggest asking questions about what you can do as a parent at home to help with your child's behavior, because it does make a difference. It really does help out a lot, and it takes some of the pressure off of us as therapists, because we're here to help your child. Like, that's what we're here for. We're here to help them and to help them grow and live a successful, happy life, no matter what type of diagnosis they have. Now, as far as what we do in a typical session, I would normally get my child or my client out of the car when their parent dropped them off, and I will go in, and I normally give my child or my client free time in the beginning of the session. I don't like going in, placing demands on them and doing work immediately. I just feel like, especially early in the morning, they just got out of bed, they're probably tired, they're trying to wake up still. So I just give them at least maybe 20 minutes to like get themselves together and wake up and do whatever, and then we start to do work. I do that for my morning session, and I also do that for my afternoon session. I am a strong believer in like some time and space. Everybody need their time and everybody need their space. So I let them do whatever they want for a good 20 minutes. in the beginning of the session. And then after that, we go to the DTI room and we do work. Now, every child, every client doesn't have work to do at the table. A lot of the work can be done outside in the environment. So some people have work outside in the environment, within the clinic, and then some of us have work to do at the table. So at the table in a DTI room, typically what it looks like, a child, and I may place a video or clip or something for you guys to see what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, I can't record a typical session. I would love to do that, but HIPAA, so I can't show any faces. I can't really show what I'm doing, but I can place a clip or something, or insert a clip so that you guys can see. But what I would do, if they have LRFFCs, I would go and place these little index cards. They normally have a box with all their stuff and belongings in there. And the cards have pictures or words or whatever on them, and we'll run a session. I hold up a card and be like, the sun is, and then the child will say yellow. Good job, and then I grab some cards out of their maintenance box. The maintenance box is pretty much cards, information that they should already know, that they have learned already, and it's just me testing them and running them as a distractor. And then we have cards that have different pictures and words and stuff on them that they are learning, that's on their target sheet, that I would hold up or tell them, point to the car. And they'll point to the car. I'm like, good job, that's pointing to the car. Or I would get them to hands me the balloon, or hands me the bubbles, and they will hand me the bubbles. Good job, that's handing me the bubbles. And every time they get something correct, I would praise them or reinforce them with their favorite snack or candy or something like that, to get them to be more engaged and more excited about participating in the DTI room at the table. Excuse me guys, I know I talk really fast, so if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's pretty much what the DTI room table is about. After that, I'll run some targets in net gen. Pretty much is within the environment. So I'll go and get a puzzle piece or get some puzzles, and let my child pick out something, or I'll just ask them, what do you want to play with, or what do you want to do? And they'll go to whatever section within the clinic, and we'll just go in that area, and I'll work with them in that particular area. Again, I do give my clients free time. So after we're done with a table session, excuse me. Whew. After we're done with the table session, I'll give them free time, between 5 and 10 minutes of free time. I know an outsider looking in would think it's just play, because it really does look like we're just playing with the clients, but we're actually working. We're doing a lot of observing. We're doing a lot of data taking, a lot of taking notes and just keeping mental notes in mind. Like, okay, I see you need help with this. I see that he or she are doing this. I need to make sure I write this down and let this know to the clinical director, so that when he or she come and sit down with me, we can talk about how we can go work through these things. So that's that. Yeah, I mean, it's not really that much to tell you guys. That's pretty much what we do majority of the day. Some clinicians do go to the client's home. Some of them do go to the client's school if your client is in school. I know I went to one of my client's school before, and the environment is different because it's not in the clinic, but you pretty much do the same thing that you would do if the child was in the clinic. So it's not too much of a difference, just the environment is different, but it's very fun. I like going to the client school. I haven't been to a client's home yet. I know my coworkers have gone to their clients' homes and they have done sessions at home, and seems very fun as well. So I hope that I will have the opportunity to do that one day. But this is my first real job in my field. I know a lot of people may have questions or concerns about, oh, well, do you have to have a degree and this and that? Honestly, no. As long as you have a high school diploma, you can get hired. You don't really have to have a degree. Like I said, you can just have a high school diploma and they'll hire you. It really just depends on the company. But I do have a degree. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I am currently in school to get my master's degree. I do not want to pursue ABA therapy long term. This is just something to experience, to learn about, to get my feet wet, because this is my first real job. Like I said, in my field, it's really hard finding a job in psychology with a bachelor's degree that pays well. So I got very blessed getting this job. Like, I'm very thankful that they have jobs like these, because it really does help you get into your field. Because what I want to do in the future, which is to be a clinical mental health counselor, pretty much what I'm doing now is going to be very similar to what I'm going to be doing in the future. Except for I would have a much larger clientele, and of course I'll be working with individuals beyond the autism spectrum. It's going to be a mixture of like anxiety, depression, other different things, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have more things I'm going to have to do. So but working in this field is definitely going to help prepare me a little bit for what I really want to do in the future. So this job is just to get some experience and to get my feet wet. So I'm very thankful for this job that I have, and it's, like I said, it's very rewarding. And I encourage anyone who is trying to become an RBT, I encourage that you do your research. Please do your research. Know what company that you're working for. There are some ABA companies that really pay really good money, and they value your time, and they value you as an employee. So I say really take your time when you do your research. Particularly the job that I work for, the company I work for, they do not pay me or any other clinician when clients cancel, because we do have cancellations. They don't pay for that, which sucks. So that means if you don't have a client, you don't get paid. And cancellations are out of the clinicians/therapist control. There's nothing that I can do about a client canceling. I can't do nothing about it. Unfortunately, the company that I work for, they don't pay you when clients cancel. Now, I have seen other companies, other ABA companies that pay their that pay their employees when clients cancel, which is really, really good. And if you're wanting to become an RBT and wanting to work for a really good company, I suggest looking for companies that will pay you for cancellations. Okay, that is the biggest thing. Clients cancel all the time. For whatever reason, it's really hard trying to find another client at the last minute to come in for a session. So I suggest, if you're going to be in this field, definitely find a good company to work for, because every company is different. Also, I suggest that if you just want to try something new or something different, and you never tried it before, I suggest going for becoming an RBT. Go for it. You never know what you might like. Could become a BCBA one day. Who knows? I say it's a really good experience. Again, with children, I do work with kids from ages 2 to 15, 13. It varies. So yeah, it's very, very rewarding, and you can make a difference in somebody's life. So it's like, well, why not go for it? That's about it, you guys. Yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to comment below and ask whatever questions you want to ask. Please like, this video, please subscribe to my channel, you guys, so that you can be, hit the bell so that you can be notified when I upload more videos. And yeah, so yeah, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. 3 things that I ask of you guys. Please, please, please. Thank you guys for showing support. For anybody who's a returning subscriber, thank you so much for supporting me and watching my videos. And I will see you guys in my next video.